Porsha ready to steal somebody else's husband. Yours. Yours.
Sweetie me again.
Sweetie me again.
Record that.
Then also, who else do we have? There's a new girl named Angela Oakley. Now I don't know Angela, but I hear her husband is everything.
And y'all can even say he's too old for her because Porsha is in the midst of divorcing her grandfather. So, nah. Okay, this is the perfect age range for Porsha right here.
I just feel like, even though you may not be married, it's just some things are just common sense of how to behave around a married couple. Mm-hmm. And for me, I don't even like to stand and look someone's husband eye to eye and carry on more than a 3-minute conversation. So when we go to exchange telephone numbers, like I was telling somebody the other day, every type of communication that you have with this couple needs to go through the wife. And you should know that at some point in your life. And if you overstep that boundary, then your intentions were wrong from the beginning. Porsha wrote a coloring book about wanting to be R. Kelly's main girl despite him having a wife, leaving a woman that was screaming to be let out of R. Kelly's sex cult. She fantasized about her ex-husband being her man when he was in a public relationship with his baby mother. Then she's engaged to a dude whose soon-to-be ex-wife was her co-worker. She met both of them on the show at the same time and started an affair with him. So yeah, journalists are going to ask basic questions and not stroke your ego.
Damn. I'm sorry.
I work for Dish Nation. I am in the world of journalism. So my word needs to be
journalism is.
So you're downplaying my job? This word right here is killing me. What's this?
Reciprocation?
Reciprocity.
Let me see, Porsha.
It's a big. It's
reciprocity.
Reciprocity. No.
That ain't it.
Look at it. Come look at it.
Give me a minute.
Reciprocity. Hard mess, child.
I would like Porsha to spell scepter. So.
It's almost hurtful to me to watch her be so dumb. Somebody wrote a death on 265 days a year. What is wrong with that?
Porsha Williams coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta? That's false. But Porsha Guardia is in the building. See y'all.
Well, I guess Porsha Williams is coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta because
Porsha Guardia
filed for divorce, child, and we don't even know if that's truly her real name because you all know I've been reporting about it that the man re-entered this country after being deported due to his criminal past under a fake name and fake identity. Got his paperwork under that fake identity and then decided to file for a citizenship in this country under that fake identity. And that's how he was caught. For those of you who missed that video, I have linked that video in the description below. If you want more information on Porsha filing for divorce, I have linked that video in the description below. Now let's get into the current topic. What's up, my Vina loves? It's Miss Vina D coming to you all from Vina Team News. If you've been keeping up with my updates, then you are aware that Porsha and Simon are currently on social media going at it. It's like, girl, why are you even on the show if we're going to get everything on social media? You were doing so good, paying him dust, not responding. Now everything is playing out on social media, but it's also going to play into her storyline. So I understand why Porsha started responding, because if Simon is saying, don't talk about me on the show, don't film in my house, and he's trying to block everything, the girls can still walk up in a scene and be like, girl, I woke up and you were all over the blocks clapping back, and that could lead to a scene, a few scenes, a conversation, and all of that. So Porsha knows what she's doing as it relates to that. As far as her husband, he's been busy. From giving Shamia a compliment on her gift while throwing some shade, Porsha responding, and then Simon clapping back. Basically, you keep talking about me not having, my citizenship and all of that, but yet you're still living in my house as an American citizen. Since you have so much money and you're debt free, why are you in my house? Get out of my house, okay? He's like, you're still in my house throwing parties for your family, kicking me and my children out, allegedly. You all have seen those videos. So if you missed those videos, please click the links in the description below to watch those videos. I even posted how he pinned and liked a few comments accusing Porsha of cheating on him with her ex-fiance Dennis. So Simon been busy and Porsha is clapping back as well. Well, now let's get into Simon and Porsha recent back and forth on social media that is now going and hitting below the belt. And we're back. Another day, another drama, in another chapter or episode. Either Porsha is Simon drama. Simon posted his watch. Okay, it looks like, this message is from Porsha. Happy birthday, baby. It's time to live. Okay. Well, Simon posted that his watch is missing. Okay, it was gifted to me on my birthday in 2021. It has not been reported to the authorities as missing or stolen, nor any insurance claims filed. I would like to publicly plead that whomever is in possession of it return this beautiful sentimental watch to my home safely and in good condition, or should you have any information about its whereabouts or information that will lead to the arrest of the individual or co-conspirator found in possession of it, please DM me. Okay? Hashtag no stealing allowed. So this person wrote, report it to the police and file a claim if it's missing. No need to get anyone but the authorities and the insurance people involved if it is an authentic piece. Someone responded, thank you, Porsha. I will do just that as soon as I'm back in the States. And that's the reason why he responded that way. I'm going to get to that in a second. No one come on here saying we're tired or you're too old to be petty. This is his page. Someone responded, louder for the slow ones in the back. Missing from where? Last place you had the watch? My master bedroom. Ooh, chap. Is Porsha's baby daddy now stealing wristwatches? You see, now why are you dragging Dennis in this? Speaking of Dennis, and also the reason why Simon made the comment, thank you, Porsha. I will do just that as soon as I'm back in the States. It's because when Porsha wanted the narrative that she met this rich businessman that got her this ring that was almost $1 million and she was living this lifestyle, when she wanted that to be her narrative, it was her narrative. The moment she and Dennis was no longer together, she couldn't just simply move on. Porsha posted about being a single mom, and this person just reminded her, okay, now everything but the single mom part. Your baby daddy is a millionaire, and so is your fiance. Porsha responded, I literally have no idea how much he makes. Pretty sure it's not millions. What millionaire doesn't pay child support, only daycare, and buys fake Rolex? So that's why Simon responded that way, because if everything was still the same, where nothing came out about his past and all of that, Porsha would still be posting her fake happy images pretending. But now that the narrative is no longer in her favor, now he's in debt, he's broke, and fake this and fake that. So for someone to leave a comment like that, he was like, okay, Porsha, because that's Porsha MO. The moment it's not working out, now you become the complete opposite of who she pretended you were when her name was attached to you. Porsha was also smiling in interviews and nodding her head when people were insinuating that her ring was $1 million, more than almost a million. But the moment she and Dennis broke up, he was back on social media again in the comments. This person wrote, but isn't he the one who bought you a $750,000 engagement ring? Come on now, he can afford a Rolex. And of course, obviously, this comment was after Porsha responded to somebody else accusing Dennis of wearing a fake Rolex. So after that person comment, basically saying, don't do that because he got money, Porsha then responded to that comment with, it was about 100,000 and it could never be resold. Porsha continued that she was told it was severely treated and apparently if they removed the ring from setting, it would break. I, of course, gave it back when engagement, well, she meant when the engagement was off. And that's the reason why I keep saying that Porsha and Simon are each other karma, because not only did Porsha take over his house that he bought with his own money because of certain condition in their prenup, which they are waiting for a judge to make a permanent decision. Right now it's temporary. So not only did Porsha allegedly abandon his kids, then came back and used scare tactics to get him and his kids out of his own house. And when I say abandon, the kids were there with Porsha and the nanny, okay? The nanny was supposed to step in areas where Porsha couldn't because, Porsha got businesses and things to handle. But Porsha left the kids 100% with the nanny, allegedly, no communication, and left the house. And then when she came back with a man that had a gun that she claimed was her security. Then she left again. But when she came back the next time, she brought a different man with her mother and her mother boyfriend, moved back in the house. But then this time, allegedly, she turned off all of the security cameras because Simon had access to them. And she did not want Simon watching her and what she was doing. That made the nanny uncomfortable. And so the nanny left allegedly, and now Simon's children are with their mothers until this whole thing can be resolved and figured out. So the reason why people are not feeling bad for Simon is what about Simon's homeless kids and how they were not given enough time to move, and the post is on the screen. We've talked about this already. That's why I'm not reading it again. It's because most people are focusing on the adults. They're like, you only give Fallon 3 weeks to move with her younger kids as well. Did you care about her?
Moved away, or how did the ending happen?
Same way y'all saw it. It just went away. One day I was happy, and the next day he was gone.
Oh, he just never came back to the house?
He came back after a few months. Yeah.
Months.
So I had my kids in our house and his kids too. And he was just traveling wherever he was. No communication, barely any. And then he came back, and it was you have 3 weeks to leave.
Oh, the premises.
Mm-hmm.
You had 3 weeks, or both of you?
No, I had 3 weeks.
Okay.
Leave.
He gave you a letter or something that said you got 3 weeks?
No, he sent me a text.
Okay.
Real about as good as it got.
3 weeks to live.
Another moment that people are throwing in Simon's face is that here he is now complaining that someone took his watch, okay? He's insinuating that it could be Porsha or anyone that she have in his home that have access to his things, okay? And then people are throwing his face with, you remember when Porsha and Dennis were arguing over his robe? Dennis simply wanted his expensive robe back. Porsha did not want to give it to him. After claiming that Dennis' Rolex was fake, this person responded that basically he can buy expensive robes that are real. So even though the robe doesn't compare in price to a Rolex. And here's Porsha. I bought that robe, and the following week I found out he had rehired the employee he was sleeping with. He only wore it, she meant, for a picture, that one day. He only wore it for a pic that one day. Porsha wasn't willing to give Dennis a robe back. A robe, okay? Because of him still allegedly messing with or working with someone that he cheated on her with. But yet, she thinks it's okay for her to stay in and walk away with someone $7 million home, or that she is owed equity in a house that she barely lasted in for 2 years, where this man paid for, made a down payment, and he's been paying all of the bills in the house. She thinks she's entitled to that home because it's their marital home. Couldn't even give Dennis a robe back. The hypocrisy. Did all of this for a robe, but think this man should just roll over and give her his home. I don't blame him for fighting. But the reason why this whole robe conversation is important is because while Dennis was trying to get his robe and other clothing back, what did Simon do? Yep. Petty Simon was on Instagram doing photo shoots in a similar robe. Yep, rubbing it in Dennis' face. Of course, Simon's robe is different than Dennis' robe. He's not wearing Dennis' robe. I'm just saying, to mock Dennis, he was rocking his own robe around the same time this conversation was going on, okay? If you have money, just go ahead and replace the robe. Why are you over here complaining? Again, you can't compare a robe to an expensive watch, but people are just simply saying when it was somebody else, you were mocking them. And just to show you that it was around the same time, the comments on Simon's page that day is that Dennis' robe. Came straight to the comments to find this comment before I put the same comment, okay? So he was doing photo shoots and mocking Dennis. Now look, it's your turn to go through it all over again. But Simon said he's learned his lesson. So as he posted 4 days ago, Proverbs 26:11, like a dog that returns to his vomit is a fool who repeats his foolishness. Never again. How you interpret this is up to you. We are all guilty of it and must stop making poor choices. Sticking with the whole animal talk, Simon also posted, a pig with lipstick does not make one beautiful, because when the lipstick fades, all you see is what it always was, a pig. Most of you have seen this saying before or have heard it. Go ahead and read his hashtags. I'm going to get to shortly why Simon wrote that. This is what he posted that led to Porsha clapping back, and then that's when he posted this. So we're going to get into it. It's right here and caption that post, wondering out loud. And to that, valid green card or debt-free, Simon. Porsha is recycling her reads. Let's go ahead and read what Simon responded with a few days ago when she wrote the same thing. Despite not holding a U.S. citizenship, this immigrant with 34 years of impeccable credit history secured a $7 million home. The property is now inhabited by a U.S. citizen who was once married to me for precisely 453 days. Just imagine that, not 265. Get it right. So his point is, Miss American Citizen, since you want to drag me about green card, why are you still in my house? The last time I checked, you were on those private jets, going to all of these places and accepting this man who's not debt-free, gifts, the cars and all of that. But now, oh, okay, my point. That's exactly what she did to Dennis. Porsha clapback led Simon to post, debt builds wealth, poor credit destroys wealth. Which would you rather have? Followed by the caption I read earlier and said we're going to talk about it later. Well, we're here. Now, for those of you who watch the Instagram live of Fallon that I posted, thank you so much. It's almost at 7,000 views. So thank you all for supporting that video. She talked about unconditional love and she talked about Simon. So if you missed that video, I have linked it in the description below. But I'm only saying that because I read some of these comments in that video. So just in case you're like, wait a minute, I've heard this before, it's because I'm just going to insert what I said in that video with Fallon in here. And so Simon liked and pinned a few more comments, meaning that he agrees, okay, with these people. Loving a woman is never a crime. If I love a woman, I will sign every condition in the prenup to please her, for love comes with trust. This shouldn't give the woman the guts to render my children homeless. Another pinned comment. It's a shame that people pretend to love and care for you with conditions. The moment you have a little challenge, they run off to go get divorced. How in the world do you leave your marriage because he's not a citizen or has debts to pay? I guess it's for better I stay, for worse I run along. Not on anybody's side, and I'm not saying Porsha deserved to lose her marital home and be in the streets. My thing is, she will not be in the streets because she have her own home. The only reason why I keep talking about leave that man houses, you can't keep dissing the man about invalid this and invalid that in debt, but he's currently paying your bills, allegedly. You can't be calling him broke, but he's the reason why you currently have a roof over your head, because he's currently legally paying all of the bills. He have to because it's in your prenup, and you're currently having a party right now in his house, and he's not even in his house. He's in a different country. He's not with his kids, and he gets to watch you on Instagram with your family and friends in his house while you're still dissing him. That's all I'm saying. But hey, I get it. Just because I filed for divorce doesn't mean you expect me to be able to pack up all of my things and move within weeks. I can't do that. It's going to take me time. I need to find a new place to live. I don't want to go back to my house because I gave it to my mother, and my mother, her man, and her things are in there. So I need time to find my own place to move and all of that. So absolutely, I get it, and I see where Porsha is coming from. And also, don't go around signing documents for these very reasons. Love or not. Like I said, Simon is too seasoned to have allowed this to happen. But overall, I'm over it. So I wish the both of them the best. I'm wishing all of you well, and take care. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.